Hey guys, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. So today we're going to be talking about should you pull for Ganyu or should you pull for Zhongli. I've seen a lot of people asking it on Reddit, so I'm going to give you guys the way that I feel about it and just kind of some information that might be good to take into account. So as always, a little disclaimer here. If you like a certain character, if you love Zhongli, if you love Ganyu, pull for that character, play as that character. Do whatever you want to do. In 99% of the content in this game, you do not need to have the best characters ever. You can play whatever you want. If you want to make Barbara your DPS, make Barbara your DPS. So the biggest thing that you really need to think about is what it is that you're looking to pull for. Do you need a game changer? Do you need a carry? A support? What is your goal in pulling? The one thing that I can say right off the bat here is that when it comes to game changers, when it comes to a character that's literally going to take your account from 0 to hero, Ganyu is that hero. She is the best unit in the game, and she is one of only 2 units that I actually recommend that you pull for. So if you need a new main carry, if you need a new DPSer, if you need a new account game changer, that's Ganyu. You're not gonna find that in Zhongli. This applies even if you have Ayaka, right? I've seen a lot of people, especially on Reddit, saying, oh, if you have Ayaka, you have your main cryo carry, you shouldn't pull for Ganyu because you don't want to have carries of the same element. I am here to tell you that I think that that's actually bad advice. So the reason why is, personally, I think Ayaka really only works in a few team comps. She works especially well with characters like Mona in a freeze comp, for example, and that's kind of it. You can put her in a few other team comps, but she's not able to output the same kind of damage as she would and be as effective as she would if she was in that freeze comp, right? You can get her the Blizzard Strayer set, makes her way more free to play friendly and easy to set up because you don't have to worry about crit that much. That being said, it doesn't really matter what your current carry is. Ganyu is still gonna be one of the best carries in the game, so she's probably stronger than whatever you're running right now. One important caveat to that: if you plan to use Ganyu as a main DPS, which is not her only role, by the way, she can be a support character for you as well, you do need to be able to do her charge shots. So if you're playing on mobile, if you're not able to aim on console or whatever, that's something you need to take in consideration. If you still want to use her as a main DPS, you need to be able to aim her shots. If you don't need a carry and you're not looking for a new carry, then you're looking at picking a support character. In honestly both cases are very good support characters. Keep in mind, Ganyu's ultimate is something that she can have on the field 100% of the time, and it's going to be raining those icicles for you, making a lot of extra cryo element on it. If you want to melt, if you're looking for a freeze comp and you want to use like Child or something, like Ganyu is a great support for those characters and can be used to really help them get the most out of what they can do. On the other hand, you have Zhongli, right? Zhongli is a Geo element character. We've talked about it a lot on this channel and on Twitch. Geo has just always been in kind of not a great spot. By design, its elemental reaction is one of the worst, if not the worst in the game. I believe it's the worst. And then on top of that, like, a lot of Geo characters want you to run full Geo comps, which really limits where you can kind of put them. Realistically, even if you don't want to run a full Geo comp, but you're interested in Zhongli, are you going to run him in a Geo Resonance group? And like, what Geo character are you going to run alongside him? If you want to run Albedo or something like that, you're going to take up 2 slots just to get that Geo Resonance, and then the shield's really from Zhongli. Albedo is good in his own right, don't get me wrong. But the thing to remember is that both Zhongli and Albedo in this case are going to be taking away from the elemental reactions you're going to be trying to do, right? You're going to have less opportunity to melt, less opportunity to vaporize, or whatever you're trying to do for your main damage deal. One of the worst things in the world is getting low on that timer for Spiral Abyss and then seeing that Albedo or some other Geo reaction ended up taking away what could have been a big melt or a big vaporize hit. So all that was for the idea of a sub DPS, right? A support DPS. That's kind of what we were talking about before, and like, would you want to use Ganyu? Would you want to use Zhongli and stuff like that? So if you're looking at pulling Zhongli as, you know, a third option as a shield character, there's a couple other shield characters as well that have really, really great shields, being Toma the 4-star and Noelle also a 4-star. They have fantastic shields. They work in little different ways, but they have benefits to both, and so that's definitely something you should look into. Because they're 4-star characters, they're much easier to obtain, and you can use them in, you know, lots of other ways that you might not think about for looking at shield characters. For example, Toma, you can help run on a double fire team to get the extra fire resonance, right? So he'll be providing shields, but also he'll be your partner fire character to help with those fire resonance in your group. And then he'll also be able to, you know, enable you to do different swirl compositions and things like that for characters like Hu Tao, who have an issue with getting out fire before being able to, like, go into their big burst DPS phase. One positive side about Zhongli's shield as your support character is going to be the fact that he's also going to be shredding 20% elemental and physical resist for enemies staying near them. However, something that you should probably be looking into, especially with the team comps you're thinking that you might want to use Zhongli in, is that if they go below 0% resistance, the amount is halved. So let's say they start out with 0 resistance, that 20% that he shreds is actually only 10%. Good thing to keep in mind is how much resistance some characters and enemies have, right? So for one example, you know, someone like the Cryo Lolitro has 70% cryo resist. So if you wanted to do cryo for him, you know, maybe having that extra 20% res shred would be nice. However, that's only for the element that he's matching. And a lot of characters only have like 10% res. So you're going to be looking at doing like an extra, you know, 10% res from the 20% down to 0, and then with the 10% left, you're going to get an extra 5%. So it's not actually going to give you as much as you might think some of the time, especially with a lot of characters being able to shred resistances themselves. If you have someone like Rosaria or someone like Shenhe, for example, those characters already do shred resistances for you. The big benefit of Zhongli is really that he gives you the shield and he does give you that shred. So if you are in need of that shred and you don't have characters that can provide it for you, he can do both at the same time, and that's really the value of him. I think it's worth noting that in 2.5 it's been data mined that we're going to be getting new mobs, and these new mobs are going to react to you in different ways if you have a shield on. In bad ways. So they're trying to nerf shields by adding these mobs. So I think it's pretty obvious that the developers think that shields are right now too strong, and that this is actually an indirect nerf to those shields in general. Just to give you a little bit of information about these data mined new enemies, they're going to have specific reactions that they're going to do when they attack a shield. So one example is that if they attack you and you had a shield, they're going to heal themselves. Another one is if they attack you and you had a shield, they're going to shield themselves. So they're going to kind of really make you not want to run shield characters in the future, or at least don't take damage using a shield character, which then kind of negates the point of having the shield in the first place. So I think we really are going to be in a world here, you know, when 2.5 comes, where shields are going to be a lot less powerful and a lot less prevalent than what we've seen in the past. So I think in a lot of cases you are just going to opt for running a healer. You're going to run Kokomi or someone else, Jean or someone like that, who can just heal through the damage you take rather than shielding it. And to be fair, we don't know very much about these enemies, right? We know a little bit about their abilities and stuff like that, but I'm not saying you should pull based on any data mined information. This is all, you know, subject to change. Maybe none of this happens. Maybe none of these characters exist in the actual build that we'll get to play. But it's just important to keep in mind that, like, if they're even having to think about these characters in the beta versions of these games, clearly, right, they're trying to nerf shields by having bad effects happen when they hit a shield. So clearly their mindset as developers is that they don't think shields are in the right spot yet. Maybe they're too powerful, maybe they want healers to be more widely used, you know, it could be a lot of reasons. But either way, I think it actually really devalues characters like Zhongli, whose biggest use is his shield. So I think the next idea is that you want to pick these characters based off of, like, maybe you want a support that does, you know, their regular supportive role while also giving you CC, right? Crowd control, if you don't know what CC is. So, you know, a lot of people will look at Venti Ultimate and things like that and think that the crowd control is really good, and that's totally true. And you can do that with actually both of these characters, right? Zhongli can petrify with his elemental burst skill, and then Ganyu, like I said earlier, is one of the best freeze enablers for ice in the game because you have such a huge field. So they both have their strengths and weaknesses when it comes to that. Benefits of Zhongli is a single unit can do the entire CC himself. Downside is it's not up nearly as much as you could freeze somebody, right? You can have 100% uptime basically with freeze if you use someone like Ganyu with some water supports. Overall, I think even in a supportive role, Ganyu still has a lot of, you know, team compositions that she can be in, not just like freeze comps, but also, you know, a lot of melt comps and things like that that she can be a part of, where Zhongli struggles a little bit more, I feel like. You know, a lot of people say you can put him in whatever team you want, which I do think is sort of true, but you're not really going to be getting the true value out of him in all instances, right? Especially if you want to also run a healer. Overall, guys, I think it's pretty obvious. Like, Ganyu is the right choice here. If we're going to have to pick Ganyu or Zhongli, I don't really think it matters what role you're trying to fill. Yes, Ganyu won't be able to give you shields, but if you really need shields for some composition, look into getting Toma, look into getting Noelle. I think those characters are going to be much more better suited to trying to fill whatever role you might need instead of Zhongli. I think he has a lot of downsides, and honestly, being Geo hurts him a lot. It really does. If you're looking into filling out your full Geo squad and you really, you know, want Zhongli, maybe that makes a lot of sense. To be honest, Geo characters just play really well with other Geo characters, and that's just kind of the way that it is. You know, in a day and age where he can mess up your reactions, the shield he gives you is pretty decent. It's the best in the game for sure. But there are other shield characters that are close, and they're 4-star characters. They're not limited time 5-star characters. At the end of the day, I've said it before and I'll say it again, there's only 2 characters in the game that I truly believe are worthy of your primos. You know, you might be a free to play, you might be a low budget spender. Those are the people that I'm making this video for, right? And those 2 units are Kazuha, 1, and Ganyu, 2. Not necessarily in that order. I actually truly believe that Ganyu will do more for your account than Kazuha. However, I do think those are literally the only 2 units in the game that I think you should pull for. You've seen my other videos. So far, there haven't been any other characters. Shogun, Eula, you know, everyone, Albedo, like no one else is a must pull. Ganyu and Kazuha are the must pulls. Zhongli is not a must pull. And keep in mind, when I say that Ganyu is a must pull, Kazuha is a must pull, I'm talking about their C0 forms. I've used C1 Ganyu for over a year now, and I can honestly say that she was game changing. Like, her C1 isn't crazy insane, it's pretty strong, it's pretty good. However, she gets even way better with C6. I'm just talking about their base forms though, the base damage that they can put out and help your team. To be totally honest with you, I thought it was absolutely insane that there are people that were out there, you know, saying that you should be pulling for Zhongli over Ganyu. I would see people on Reddit asking this question, you know, who should you pull for? And a lot of people, I was really genuinely surprised, were like, pull for Zhongli. And I just don't understand what those people are doing. Because I don't know if they're looking at it and saying, well, C6 Zhongli is very good and you can use it in place of a healer. But that's not the way that it is for C0 Zhongli, and that's my experience. I enjoy using him, but for me, he's only level 70 with like pretty low investment. Because to be honest, there's not very many teams that I like putting him in. He just doesn't help me that much. He doesn't increase my damage that much, and to some degree it feels like a DPS loss because of how long it takes some of his animations to go. Like, it is nice having the shield, but to be honest, if I have to run a healer anyway, well, what's the point? To wrap it up, guys, like, Ganyu is the answer. If you're gonna have to pull for one, if you're not sure which one to pull for Ganyu. we don't really know what kind of future Zhongli is gonna have, but I can tell you with absolute certainty that like the past year has been dominated by Ganyu. She is, like I said before, one of the best units in the game, if not the absolute best. Zhongli is not. He's good. He's can be useful, but that's not really worth pulling for, especially if you don't have enough primos to guarantee, you know, that you get a character or that you are going to be able to get whatever the next level of power creep is. But also keep in mind, power creep in this game really hasn't been that crazy. Like, there's a reason why Ganyu is still one of the best units. She's been out for a full year. The game's only been out a little bit longer than that. But at the end of the day, guys, that's just kind of been my thoughts on, you know, the whole Ganyu versus Zhongli situation. I've tried to help people on Reddit, and I've tried to, you know, clarify all the, you know, good and the bad of both, and so hopefully this kind of helps you consolidate some of that information. But I genuinely think, guys, that Ganyu is the answer here. And every person that I've talked to, and a lot of my friends play Genshin Impact, they all agree with me. Like, Ganyu has been the game changer that everyone wanted. The game changer is what I feel like we all pull for. We don't really need to spend money, I feels like, to me anyway, on, you know, the small changes. Like, at the end of the day, if you want a shield, there are other shield characters, Diona, Noelle, Toma, or whatever. Like, there's characters that can give you a decent amount of what Zhongli can provide you, and those side grades are pretty close. But if you're looking at something like Ganyu, she's really gonna help your account. She'll give you at least one of your 2 damage dealers. She'll be amazing for you in a lot of different team comps, and even into the future, she's still going to be really, really strong, even as a support character, with how much cryo she can provide while not even being on the field. So, thank you guys so much for hanging out and listening to my 2 cents on all of this. If you guys want to come and hang out with us while we do testing and, you know, trying out different team comps, stuff like that, come and hang out with us over at Zarenessen over on Twitch, link in the description below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. If you do end up pulling for Zhongli or Ganyu, always, you know, best of luck to all of you guys, and I hope you enjoy them immensely, just like I do. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.